Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm talking about something a little bit different than usual. It pertains to my astrology channel, not anything connected with any signs or elements or anything connected with someone's natal chart. This is a response to some derisive statements that have been made in some recent time, and I'd like to talk with the people that see this video about it. Well, the first thing, I get some statements from people that recently that I don't remember exact words, or I'm going to say this in a way where I might be reiterating some things, where the impression that people get, a number of people, is that I'm not very animated or vivacious. That's the one thing. And to respond to that is that, okay, we all have our certain demeanor, our certain temperament, right? Now, there might be more people doing YouTube astrology videos out there that are a little bit more lively, they're a little bit more animated. But the thing about it is, the main thing is the knowledge that the one person shares. It's kind of like if you go into say you go into a library, you go into a bookstore, and you're reading about something, right? And you go to some source, and most things that are pertaining to any subject are written in a very serious manner. And I think the way I speak and the way what my delivery is and my personality corresponds with that. It's kind of like I'm giving people something where they can get knowledge from, and it's put really in a serious manner. It's not. I'm not talking in any kind of, I guess you could say, in a jocular way. It's and I know my personality is not such when I talk about when I give my delineations on various astrological topics, and I guess you could say placements and positions and aspects. So it's basically the same principle. The bottom line is, when anybody's reading something, it's read. What they're reading is something very serious, and I think that's my approach with this. When I give, I guess you could say this is like my teachings on things connected with astrology. I feel it has to be presented in that same serious manner. Now, as far as there's another thing I'd like to point out too. Somebody had wrote something to the effect that I look like, well, actually the person actually said something about me needing a supplement or something because I don't look like I'm happy with what I'm doing. Well, I am happy with what I'm doing. Just because one doesn't smile doesn't mean they're not happy. I enjoy inwardly what I'm presenting to people, and the fact that others can they could be guided by my knowledge, they could assimilate what I'm expressing. This is something where I take a lot of joy in it. I might not demonstrate it when I'm doing videos, but I am happy that people are learning from what I'm teaching, and I do take a lot of pride in that. I don't know what it is. I guess I have that Taurus rising, that placid, calm demeanor, somewhat impassive, and I think that's playing a role in how I express myself. At least you could say my astrological facade or mask, or my projection of self. So, in having a Cancer Sun, I'm somewhat, I guess inwardly, I'm a little bit more emotional than what I'm showing in my videos, perhaps. But anyway. And another thing is, somebody was talking about my position. I mean, I've gotten, well, not just one, I think there was two anyway, people that had said something about where the camera is positioned in relation to me and what it's focused on. Okay, well, the way I have it set up, I understand it's the video is showing my head, and it's going down to, I guess, where part of where my legs are, or part of them, and somebody had said something about it being unflattering, and somebody had written me, and I'm not going to say exact words, that something just, it gave like the wrong impression. Maybe it might give the wrong impression to some people. Well, the thing about it is, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm fully clothed. There's nothing graphic. There's no salacious intent on anything I'm doing. This is, for me, I'm proud of who I am, and I'm proud of my physical appearance. I might have a little bit of a gut here, but you know what? I don't care, because I have to be proud of my own skin. Just like we all should be, and it's my own thing if I want to do something about it or not. It's not anybody else's. And my background, as far as I'm not talking about my astrological background, my literal background, and the fact that I'm at a hotel, see, that's another thing that's irrelevant, I think, because it's not about having a stellar, no pun intended, yeah, right, or flamboyant background with a lot of stars and planetary pictures or whatever, because you know what, it's about, like I stated before, it's about sharing profuse knowledge. And people, you're watching the videos for a reason. The people that watch them are watching them because they know that the knowledge that is being shared from me to you takes precedence over any scenic beauty that's in the background of my videos. So really what it comes down to is, if somebody doesn't like how I'm doing the videos, that's fine. I'm all open for constructive criticism. There's no need to be like really derogatory and insulting toward a person as well. If you don't like it, the principle applies. When you're watching television and you grab your remote, hey, you could change the channel, right? The same thing applies with my videos. You could not look at my channel. You go to another channel, and as I stated, in the other videos, and maybe perhaps earlier in this one, I do like to share my invaluable insight with others, and which is really the main thing. There's a good possibility I might never get the viewership that a lot of the, I guess we call them as far as their viewership and their popularity, the upper echelon astrologers. But the way I see it, and this is not about being arrogant or egotistical, but I do believe that my knowledge is competitive with anyone that's doing this out there. But I probably, honestly and admittingly, will not hit the popularity that a number of others have. And you know what's funny too is that some people do have their own, that I call them their groupies. Groupies apply to so many areas in life and in interest. And I think what happens too is you have a certain amount of people that have gravitated toward a certain person or persons in terms of whether it's astrology videos or sports videos or what have you, and they've gotten so acclimated to that one, those few, maybe those people that they really emphasize in terms of viewing, that they just generally are not going to deviate and go over and cross onto the other plane, so to speak, and go and look at another person's, which is their prerogative. Now, I encourage anyone that sees this video out there, I stated this in another video, one time I believe, I encourage people that are enamored with the subject of astrology to go look as many channels as you can in terms of astrology videos, because you might get different insight from different people. It's not necessarily that one's going to be that much better than the other, but you might get something in one that you don't get in the other. Well, people, that's basically what I wanted to address. And two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Despite people saying this is boring and monotonous, I'm going to keep saying it in case it's the first time that somebody sees the video. The stars may impel, but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.